Welcome back to Top 10 Famous. Today, we're taking a heartfelt journey through time, revisiting the legendary actors who once wore capes, masks, and shields. From the 1940s to the 1990s. Some are still with us. Others live on in memory. If these heroes touched your childhood, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to keep their legacy flying high. 1. Kirk Alyn. He was the very first live-action Superman. At 38, Kirk Alyn soared into history in 1948 with a charm that felt straight from the comics. His animated energy and square-jawed confidence set the mold. Though he passed at 88, he remains a symbol of beginnings. Do you remember seeing that black and white cape fly? What a legacy he left behind. 2. George Reeves. George Reeves gave Superman a heart. Taking on the cape at 38, he brought warmth and dignity to the Man of Steel. His tragic passing at 45 still stings fans. He deserved more time to shine. That classic curl, that upright stance, he was our childhood hero. His Superman wasn't just strong, he was kind. 3. Christopher Reeve. He wasn't just Superman, he became Superman. At 26, Christopher Reeve redefined the icon: tall, noble, impossibly graceful. And off-screen, his resilience after tragedy made him even more heroic. Losing him at 52 was heartbreaking, yet his spirit still flies, doesn't it? His gaze, his voice, we still believe a man can fly because of him. 4. Dean Cain. At just 27, Dean Cain brought a romantic, down-to-earth Superman to our living rooms. With his soft charm and heroic heart, he captured a 90s generation. Now 59 in 2025, he's still active. His smile still lights up fan conventions. Do you remember the chemistry with Terry Hatcher? It was modern, fun, unforgettable. 5. Lewis Wilson. He was the first ever Batman on screen, only 23 when he donned the cowl in 1943. Lewis Wilson's performance was raw, mysterious, and set the tone for every Dark Knight to follow. He passed away at 80, but his pioneering role lives on. Ever seen those old serials? They're gritty, classic, and pure Bat history. 6. Robert Lowery. At 36, Robert Lowery suited up as the Caped Crusader with a confident glare and slick hair. His 1949 portrayal brought a noir flair that fans still treasure. Though he passed at 58, that square-jawed silhouette is etched in Batman lore. He wasn't just acting, he lived the shadows. Can you hear that vintage Bat theme? 7. Adam West. Adam West's Batman was campy, iconic, unforgettable. At 38, he turned Gotham into a pop art playground. Kapow! Bam! He made us smile every week. Even now, at 88 in memory, he's beloved by generations. Who else could say old chum with such flair? His legacy? Eternal. He was the fun in Batman. 8. Michael Keaton. When Keaton donned the cowl at 38, fans were shocked and then amazed. Intense eyes, brooding energy, he redefined the Dark Knight. Now 73 in 2025, he's made a powerful return in modern DC films. Isn't it wild to see the original 89 Batman still ruling the shadows? The legend lives and thrives. 9. Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer donned the cape at 35, bringing a brooding elegance to Batman Forever. Behind that perfect jawline was a man battling deeply personal challenges. Sadly, he passed away in April 2025 at age 65. His whispery voice faded over the years, but that intensity that conflicted Batman remains unforgettable. We mourn the Bat with the quietest storm. 10. George Clooney. George Clooney at 36 brought elegance and controversy to Gotham. The film divided fans, but his charisma was undeniable. Now 64, he's a Hollywood titan, yet still jokes about that bad nipple suit. Admit it, you watched it anyway. He wasn't the Batman we expected, but he made the role unforgettable in his own way. 11. Lynda Harrison. Lynda Harrison appeared briefly as Wonder Woman's reflection in the 1967 unaired pilot, Who's Afraid of Diana Prince? At just 22, her stunning image hinted at superhero potential, but the show never aired, and she never spoke a line. Now 80, she's best known for Planet of the Apes, but that shimmering moment remains a cult curiosity. 12. Cathy Lee Crosby. At 29, Cathy Lee Crosby reimagined Wonder Woman with blonde hair, athletic grace, and a modern twist. Her 1974 version broke the mold. No tiara, no lasso, just raw confidence. Now 80, she's rarely in the spotlight, but that bold take? We haven't forgotten. It was a different Diana, but unforgettable all the same. 13. Lynda Carter. She is Wonder Woman. At 24, Lynda Carter became the face of strength and beauty for a generation. That twirl, that theme song, it's burned into our memories. Now 74, she remains radiant, appearing in modern DC films. Isn't it magical how she still glows like an Amazon? Some legends never fade. 14. Lou Ferrigno. He didn't need CGI, he was the Hulk. At 26, Lou Ferrigno painted green and roared onto screens with raw muscle and heart. Now 73, he still inspires with his bodybuilding and voice cameos. That growl, that rage, that sadness in his eyes. Do you remember the Lonely Man theme? We all do. 15. Nicholas Hammond. Before the MCU, Nicholas Hammond swung into our hearts at 27. With modest effects and earnest charm, he made Peter Parker feel real. Now 75, he reflects with pride, and fans do too. Those wall-crawling scenes? Pure magic for the time. He didn't need $1 billion budget, just heart and webbing. 16. Helen Slater. She floated into cinemas at 20 with golden curls and innocent strength. Helen Slater's Supergirl was ethereal, graceful, and forever memorable. Now 61, she's passed the torch on screen, but fans still adore her for being the first. Do you remember that silver shining in the sky? It still sparkles. 17. Rod Haase. Rod Haase dashed onto screens in 1979 as The Flash, not in a serious show, but in the comedic TV specials Legends of the Superheroes. At 32, he wore the red suit with earnest fun, in what's now a quirky part of DC TV history. Now 78, he's remembered fondly by collectors of the wonderfully weird. 18. John Wesley Shipp. At 35, Shipp brought Barry Allen to life with gravitas and heart. His Flash in 1990 was fast, fierce, and filled with emotional weight. Now 70 in 2025, he's still involved in Flash lore. Isn't it beautiful how he became both father and hero across generations? Talk about legacy speed. 19. Jackson Bostwick. He shouted Shazam. At 31, transforming into the mighty Captain Marvel with old-school justice and charm. Jackson Bostwick's role in 1974 may seem retro, but to many, it was magic. Now 81, his legacy remains strong with devoted fans. That red suit? That grin? Pure Saturday morning power. 20. Dick Purcell. Just months before his tragic death at 38, Dick Purcell debuted as Captain America in the 1944 serial. He wasn't the super soldier of today, but he stood tall in the fight for justice. His sudden passing added weight to the shield he carried. a true unsung hero lost too soon. 21. Reb Brown. With blonde hair and bulging muscles, Reb Brown became Cap at 31 in a 1979 TV movie. It was campy, bold, and very 70s. Now 77, he's embraced his cult icon status. Remember that see-through shield and motorcycle helmet? Fans still smile. He was America's hero with a rebel heart. 22. Burt Ward. At 20, Burt Ward leapt into pop culture as the boy wonder, then turned 21 that summer. Wide-eyed energy, lightning, holy. Quips, instant icon. Now 80, he still meets fans with joy and rescues dogs through gentle giants. Can you hear that theme? Na Batman, the sidekick who often stole the show. 23. Sam J. Jones. Flash. At 26, Sam J. Jones embodied campy space heroism like no one else. His golden locks, wide smile, and fearless fists made Flash Gordon a cult legend. Now 70, he's a fan favorite at conventions. That Queen soundtrack? That football fight? He was our cosmic champion. 24. Michael Crawford. Michael Crawford at 39 gave us Condorman, a quirky, misunderstood Disney superhero with gadgets galore. Though the film flopped, it found a cult following. Now 83, he's celebrated more for Phantom of the Opera, but fans remember that awkward cape. Ever seen a clumsier hero? Maybe, but never a funnier one. 25. Alan Arkin. At 49, Alan Arkin sang, stumbled, and soared as the drunken yet heroic Captain Invincible. The film was bizarre, but unforgettable. His passing in 2023 at 89 left a void. A veteran of screen and satire, he made superheroes human. That musical number with the Nazis? Still unmatched. What a performer. 26. Peter Hooten. At 27, Peter Hooten portrayed the first live-action Doctor Strange in a 1978 TV movie intended as a pilot. Though the series was never picked up, his mystical presence and dreamy 70s style left a magical imprint. Now 74, he's largely out of the spotlight, but for vintage Marvel fans, he was our first Sorcerer Supreme. 27. Billy Campbell. He soared with a jetpack and a dream. At 32, Billy Campbell's Rocketeer was brave, stylish, and pure-hearted. The 1991 film remains a retro gem, and now at 66, Campbell still carries that boyish spark. That leather jacket, that Art Deco charm, it's impossible to forget. He made flying look romantic again. 28. Liam Neeson. Before Taken, Liam Neeson embraced tragedy and fury as Darkman at 38. Scarred and driven, he showed superheroes could be horrifying and heartbreaking. Now 73, he's a Hollywood titan. Remember that scream in the carnival scene? Goosebumps. Darkman wasn't a traditional hero, but wow, did he leave a dark mark. 29. Robert Townsend. Robert Townsend at 36 created and starred in Meteor Man, the first black superhero to headline a major film. Funny, brave, and filled with community spirit, he was groundbreaking. Now 68, he's a respected filmmaker and mentor. Do you remember that glowing green finger? It still feels powerful today. 30. Billy Zane. In purple tights and pure charisma, Billy Zane galloped into legend at 30. The Phantom was a pulp dream, and Zane's performance? Swashbuckling perfection. Now 59, he's still impossibly cool. That sly grin, those jungle adventures, he didn't need superpowers. He had presence. Admit it, you wanted a skull ring too. 31. Tom Tyler. At 37, Tom Tyler became the first superhero to fly on screen, starring as Captain Marvel in the 1941 serial Adventures of Captain Marvel. With stoic strength and heroic presence, he embodied power itself. He passed in 1954 at just 50. Today, this character is known as Shazam, but Tyler's legacy remains the original spark that lit up superhero cinema. 32. Buster Crabbe. The golden-haired space hero. Buster Crabbe at 28 lit up serials with heroic flair and Olympic grace. As Flash Garden, he battled Ming and won our hearts. Gone at 75, he left behind a cosmic legend. Can you still hear that triumphant theme? That was Saturday morning adventure at its finest. 33. Steve Reeves. At 32, bodybuilder Steve Reeves became the face of mythical strength in Hercules. His statuesque form and noble expression defined a genre. Gone at 74, his image still towers over sword and sandal cinema. That golden chestplate, that lion's pride. Who didn't want to be Hercules back then? 34. Ron Ely. At 37, Ron Ely stepped away from Tarzan and punched into pulp legend as Doc Savage in the 1975 film The Man of Bronze. His heroic frame and earnest presence gave the character life. He passed away at 86 in 2024, leaving behind a legacy of adventure and a brief, unforgettable swing into superhero cinema. 35. Joanna Cameron. As Isis, Joanna Cameron glowed with wisdom and power at 27. Her 1975 series inspired young girls long before Wonder Woman became mainstream. She passed at 73 in 2021, leaving behind a radiant legacy. Oh, mighty Isis. Remember that chant? It still echoes in the hearts of classic TV fans. 36. Eric Alyn Kramer. Before Marvel made Thor a god of thunder, Eric Alyn Kramer brought him to life with brawny charm at 26. His 1988 version was wild, boisterous, and fun. Now 63, he's better known for sitcoms, but fans still chuckle at that rough and tumble hammer throw. It wasn't mythic, but it was mighty entertaining. 37. Rex Smith. Suited in black and blindfolded in mystery, Rex Smith at 34 became TV's first live-action Daredevil in 1989. His portrayal was stoic, swift, and unforgettable for die-hard fans. Now 69, his role is cult favorite gold. No red suit, no CGI, just grit, heart, and a kick-ass hallway fight. Remember that? 38. Matt Salinger. At 30, Matt Salinger starred as Cap in a campy, underrated 1990 film. With a quiet dignity and a rubber suit, he gave it heart, even if the ears didn't fit. Now 65, he rarely speaks of it, but fans remember. That awkward shield throw? We cheered anyway. He was our Cap before Chris. 39. David Hasselhoff. Yes, that David Hasselhoff. At 46, he brought eye-patched attitude to Nick Fury in 1998, rough, bold, and pure 90s cheese. Now 73, the Hoff still charms worldwide. His fury wasn't cinematic, but it was unforgettable. Do you recall that cigar-chomping grin? Admit it, you kinda loved it.